good evening, everyone. Welcome along to Breaking Some New Ground here, Pistol Australia's first live show. We're going to have a contest. We'll announce that a little bit later for the name of the show, but I'm Mike Westdorp. I'm going to be your host over the course of the show, and joining me tonight is our National Development Coach, Joe Capitano. Welcome along.
Nice to meet you.
So, fantastic here. This is a new initiative here by Pistol Australia. We're going to cover all things pistol. Of course, obviously, coming up very shortly, and in just a few days' time, is the WA 1500 World Championship. We'll be speaking to some athletes very shortly. But let's hear from our president first, Ray Andrews.
Hi everybody, it's Ray Andrews here, President of Pistol Australia. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the first ever Pistol Australia live stream show. Obviously most of the content will be about pistol shooting and what we provide to our members in Australia. As of this Friday, we'll be live streaming the WA 1500 World Championships from the Hilltop Range in New South Wales, so stay tuned for that one. Also, there'll be new shows and more shows coming up in the future and events, so I also hope you'll watch those. Thank you very much for your time and look forward to your comments.
Well, thanks, Ray, for that opening words there, and thanks for the support of the board, obviously, for letting us do this show. We're going to give Joe some time here as the National Development Coach to obviously talk about some specifics, but we'll chat to you about that in a little bit. WA 1500 coming up World Championship starting on the 11th.
It's going to be an exciting time. I think the whole world will be watching, I hope, and it's particular for Australia to have international talent coming to our shores.
Yeah, it's a brand new range down at Hilltop, just outside Mittagong. So we'll be heading there in a couple of days' time. Opening ceremony on the 10th, and then competition starts on the 11th. And we've got 137 competitors from 8 countries coming out here. Australia obviously represented by all the states and territories. And we're going to speak to some of our national athletes. I think we're going to we got Chris Banfield on the phone. We're going to try and get Chris Banfield very shortly. So let's see if we've got Chris on the line. He's on the Spirit of Tasmania, sailing across the Tasman at the moment.
He's on the boat.
He's on the boat.
He's gone.
He's gone. Okay, we've lost Chris for the moment, but this is what happens in live. This is what happens in live TV, but that's okay. So, Joe, look, let's go straight through to you as National Development Coach and programs that you're implementing. Tell us about the National Development Team.
Yep, the National Development Squad is 8 months into their program. We started in January with a team of 12 athletes, and we're developing their skills and their ability to actually progress into the national team. That's our whole mandate.
So you've gone around the country, obviously, at many competitions and done some talent identification. So you've got 12 athletes in the initial development squad. Yep. Where are they based around the country?
We're basically covering every state except Northern Territory. We have one from every state. And as far as Western Australia, and we bring them together on a regular basis for camps and for training and also for competitions around the states.
Yeah, as you said, you want to see those athletes that may be targeted for 2024, 2028 Olympics. That's the sort of
that is correct,
pathway for those people?
That is the pathway that we're aiming for, yeah.
We're going to try and get Marnie on the phone now, are we? Okay, yeah, we're going to cross straight down to Marnie Jones, a competitor, also part of the organising committee for the WA 1500 World Championship. Marnie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, we've got you on screen there. Lovely to see you. So you're down there getting set up. Obviously, big day tomorrow. We're going to get some registration starting to happen and training for the WA 1500. It's pretty exciting.
Yes, it is. It's been a long time coming. It's been quite a lot of work, but I'm sure it's going to be absolutely awesome. And I'm sure that all our international competitors will be very, very...
Yeah, we've got 137 international competitors coming out from 7 countries plus Australia, so 8 countries represented. You've got some staying. I believe you've got a competitor staying at your house at the moment.
Yes, we did have a competitor last week, and he came over early and loaded his ammunition at our place. He's now just doing a little bit of sightseeing around the Blue Mountains in Sydney before he comes down to the world.
So your role as the competition secretary, you're looking after entries, athlete entries, processing. Obviously, there's a fair bit involved in people bringing their firearm to Australia to get them registered and get them into the country.
Yes, that is a huge job. People really don't realise until you try and go overseas with firearms how difficult it is. But Martin O'Brien is the overseas liaison, and he's been looking after most of the international competitors with their paperwork. It's been a huge job, but I believe that the competitors so far coming through the airport in Sydney have been very, very impressed with the smooth process. So that's a good plus, yes.
And yourself, you've been in pistol shooting, what, for 13, 14 years? You've been competing, and this is your 4th World Championship?
Yes, that's right.
Second time actually selected in the national team. I think you funded yourself a couple of times overseas?
Yes, the first couple of years we went over, my husband and I, one year. The next year I went without him. And it's a really good experience to go and get experience under your belt before you even get into a team situation. But you don't have to be in a team. Anyone can shoot, anyone can compete in a world championship. It's all graded, so even if you're in the lowest grade, you can still be world champion. And I think that's a really good thing, because it encourages those people who, you know, they don't think, well, I'm never going to win, so I'm not going to bother. So it's been really good.
But obviously very proud there to be representing Australia and to host a World Championship and represent your country at a home World Championship, competing in front of friends and family. That's got to be a real thrill.
Yes, it is. Hopefully when I'm competing, I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm just doing my job.
True champion.
But yeah, leading up to that, yes, yeah.
And do you think your role in event organisation is going to impact on your shooting when you actually get going in the competition?
Preparation probably hasn't been normal, to say the least, but doesn't mean that it's not, you know, that everything that I've got under my belt now isn't going to come out at the right time. So trying not to stress about anything, I'll just get through things one day at a time. And hopefully when I'm on the range, I'm just doing my job on there and I'm not thinking about anything else. So I'm sure everything will be fine.
As part, I guess, as an athlete, that mental strength to be able to switch on at the time you've got to compete. Take us through WA 1500. You shoot over a number of different lengths and prone and standing and around the pole. There's a bit in WA 1500. Can you take us through some of it?
Yes, well, it's 150 shots plus our sighted shots, a warm up at 50 yards and 25. We then start at 7 yards and we fire 12 shots in 20 seconds. Then we move back to 15 yards and we do the same again. We're back to 25 yards and then we have 90 seconds to do 6 shots kneeling, 6 shots left hand on the post and 6 shots right hand. We then move back to 50 and we do 6 shots sitting, 6 shots prone, 6 shots left hand, 6 shots right hand in 165 seconds. And we do 2 lots of 35 seconds, firing 12 shots freestanding. Then we go back to the 7 yards and we do the 20 seconds again. Back to the 25 yards and then back to the 50 and do another 50 series, and then finally we do the last 6 shots in 12 seconds at 25 yards freestanding. Long match.
It's very involved by the sound of it.
It's very involved, but obviously your aim there is to get 150 X's and score 1500.
That's everybody's aim, and that's what we work towards. But, you know, as long as we're making progress and we're learning along the way, which you never, ever stop learning, because when you think everything that's gone wrong can go wrong, something else happens, so that's another learning experience. But that's why we keep coming back. Yeah, so
Dean and Peter Bruce set a world record, I think, last year or 2 years ago at the World Championships.
Yes, they did. They did. It was absolutely amazing to watch. I think everybody will be very impressed that watches the teams events, particularly for the world teams, the amount of pressure everybody is under to perform, and it's very, very spectacular. And Peter and Dean, that's something that a lot of people can't do, is have father and son hold a world record. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, and Peter comes into the tournament ranked number 1 in the world at WA 1500.
I believe so. Yes, I try not to look at the rankings too much. Just concentrate on my job.
Do you get a chance to train with Peter?
Yeah,
And
we
Bruce?
do. We do a lot of our competitions because we're in New South Wales. Just about every competition we're at, Peter and Dean are at as well. We all travel around. There's a sort of a core group that doesn't sort of miss too many. That's a really good experience to actually shoot with the best people in the world, and also nobody's short of giving anyone else a hand. If somebody sees something that it might help you, they'll tell you after the match. So
Sounds like a good bond.
Yeah, it's a very, very close family, Pistol Australia. Everyone's pretty close, and obviously WA 1500 teams are very close. Marnie, we're having a competition to name the show, so have you come up with any ideas yet?
I had one over here. I wrote it down. Only the range report. It's not very exciting, but that's all.
That's our first entry in the competition.
Everyone's got to be
Everyone's going to get the range report. There we go. Marnie Jones, the range report.
I like that.
So the competition's going up on Facebook, Instagram, also email and Twitter. You can enter on any of those social media platforms here from Pistol Australia, or get onto pistol.org.au and put your entries in, because we want everyone to enter. We're going to have a competition. Yeah. We'll shortlist and then we'll vote. Popular demand, and we'll get a name for the show.
Sounds good.
Well, thanks for your time down there. We're going to see you in a couple of days at the warm-up and at the opening ceremony there for the WA 1500. Best of luck in your competition.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, Marnie.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, there we go. So we just touched on the competition. Yeah. I'm excited to see the names. So we've got the range report. Clear Sight, I think, was another one that was that came through. Clear Sight. So yeah, get your thinking caps on, and I think we'll get the graphic up very shortly here, and gives you the information on where you can enter. Obviously, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, and you can also email pistol@pistol.org.au and email in your entries. And that's going to close in September, a little bit later in September, and then we'll have a shortlist and we'll have a vote. And
exciting
we'll
times.
We'll go with the winners. Yeah, we'll go with the winners. Yeah. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get Linda Jekyll. She's out. We've got Chris Banfield. Here we go. So we've managed to catch Chris. Chris is on the Spirit of Tasmania, sailing across the Tasman as we speak. There we go. Look at that.
G'day, Chris. How are you?
Very good, yourself.
Fantastic, buddy. Thanks for giving us your time there. Obviously, the boat's getting ready to sail very shortly. You're catching the boat across to Melbourne, and then you're going to drive up to Hilltop.
That's correct. Yep, about a 780 kilometre drive. So just a chip shot compared to what the other guys are driving, but not too bad.
Yeah, I think Linda Jekyll's got about an 8,000 kilometre round trip from Perth, so I wouldn't be talking too much about 780 k's. I think it's okay.
No.
Chris, it's Joe here. How's your preparation been for the World Champs?
It's been pretty busy the last few days. I've been pretty busy at work, so had to take yesterday off. Loaded about 1,900 rounds, so I'm all set now. So
how you balance work and training?
I just do the best I can, pretty much. So just try and get out when I can. Bit of dry firing at home. So
do you think that's the key for people who don't have the range time to devote to the sport, that they do plenty of dry firing?
Oh, absolutely, yep. Yeah, dry firing is one of the best training you can do, and cheapest. So
there you go, a person juggling both.
And tell me, Chris, how many times have you now been in the Australian team?
This is my third year, this one. So all 3 years been on the team with Peter Bruce. So it'd be good to get out there on the line with him again.
Yeah, as we just spoke to Marnie, he comes in ranked number 1 in the world. So we are top competitors. The Australians should be challenging for podium finishes.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Like considering like the Europeans and that, pretty much their job to shoot. So
I was going to say, who's your stiffest competition?
Always myself, I reckon. If I can try and beat myself, and I'll go pretty well.
So what's your top score in a WA 1500 match?
In 1500 auto. My highest club score is 1495, so that was a pretty handy day.
That's a very good day.
Good day.
Just roll a couple of those out over the next few days, mate. I think you'll be right.
Yeah, we'll be right then.
Yeah. So do you step up your preparation? Obviously, you were selected in the Australian team at the Nationals in Yarra in April. And have you stepped up your training since that selection?
Yeah, the last few weeks I've stepped up a fair bit. The weekend just gone, I shot about 600 rounds over the weekend, so just clearing all the I don't know.
Cobwebs? Clear the cobwebs out?
That's it, yeah.
So take us through your sort of preparation for competition. Obviously, there's a physical preparation because you've got to be able to be steady and have a strong arm and get your firearm up into the shooting position in the same way over and over again. It's repetitive, but then also the mental side of it, and then the sights and getting accurate. And that comes from obviously from firing.
That's correct. So I've been shooting since I was about 5, so all the other stuff's pretty much already drilled in, so just fine tuning as I lead up to the shoot. So sorry, there's an echo in here, it's killing me a bit.
That's okay. Just keep talking through the echo. Don't worry about it. That's part of live crosses. You're pretty excited about representing Australia here on home soil. You're going to have some family and friends coming to watch?
Absolutely, yeah. It'd be good to shoot on home soil. So I've got my dad and stepmom coming over, and my lovely girlfriend Renee's coming up with me on the drive. So that'll be good to have a few happy tears on the side.
Home ground advantage, do you think?
Most definitely. So it won't be jet lagged. That'll be a great feeling on the range.
Have you sighted the range yet? Have you had any competition at Hilltop at the brand new range?
All I've seen of it is a couple of photos, so it'll be good to get on the range and send a few down the range. But it looks like a very good complex. Excited to shoot on it.
I know with our ISSF shooting, we try and get our athletes some graphics to visualise. Did you do that in your preparation with the photos that you had at hand at all?
Absolutely not. I'm not a very visual person with training, unfortunately. So
You're one of those. You want to get out there and do it. You just want to be out there on the range and practicing.
that's it. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, mate, it's fantastic that you gave your time here on the Spirit of Tasmania. I know that the ship's going to sail very shortly out of Devonport. You'll be in Melbourne in tomorrow morning, and then into the car and up to Hilltop and into competition.
That's correct. Yep. So I've just got the safety briefing now. So.
That's it. Make sure you put your tray table up before you sail.
Yeah, sounds good.
Lifeboat, mate.
Yeah. All right, Chris, fantastic, mate. Best of luck in the competition. I know we'll be chatting to you throughout the WA 1500.
Sounds good. Thanks, fellas.
Good luck, Chris.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Well, that's exciting.
It is exciting. I think it's fantastic, obviously, to represent your country, number one, and then to do it at home on home soil is always a very special feeling. You feel so much love and support from the crowds and from friends and family. Very, very proud moment for all our athletes. I guess we're going to try again to get Linda Jekyll. She's somewhere on the Nullarbor. She might be playing the golf range, so she might be on the third hole trying to find a ball. We're not sure. But we'll see if we can cross to her shortly. But, Joe, I'm quite new to the world of pistol, and I'm going to go through the process. I want to know, what is the process for me to actually get a license and to actually become a competitor?
Mike, it varies from state to state. I'll give you a description of what happens in New South Wales. As for the other states, they have slightly different laws and different technicalities.
We'll put those up in the coming weeks, what each state's regulations and laws pertain to becoming a member of a pistol club and actually getting a license and competing. Because I tell you, from watching the Nationals in April, I actually quite like the air pistol. I'm quite drawn to that.
Yeah, it's a very precision discipline.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be any good, but I'm keen to have a go.
As long as you give it a go, you'll make up your mind. I haven't had anyone who's tried it who said, "Oh, this is not for me."
Right. Okay.
So pistol shooting is one of those addictive things.
Yeah.
Until you actually try it.
Okay. So part of the process is obviously though police checks.
Absolutely.
And basic training on handling a firearm.
Yep, safe handling of the firearm.
All sorts of safety issues before I actually even touch the firearm.
Basically, in New South Wales, you basically will do an expression of interest to join a club.
Sure.
You cannot, in my club particularly, handle any firearm until you actually go through a sequence and a process of actions.
I've got to pass a test.
Yeah, you have to
say I understand.
Basically,
Yeah.
So we give you a little safety booklet, which in your subsequent, after you've shown interest, come back to the club for an appointment, and then basically do a safety briefing, pass the test and do a practical safe handling of the firearm. Then you fill in a form, which is a police form that says that you've fulfilled all the criteria for the safe handling, and then give it a go, basically, and then your process actually
Then the
begins.
process starts. I believe that once I've gone through that part of the process, which could take me a couple of weeks to
Definitely.
pass the safety test, to read the book, to be comfortable, like getting a learner's permit for a vehicle,
Yeah.
and then passing the provisional test.
Yeah, basically, once you've passed the theory and practical test, then you can get on the range, and we will one-on-one instruct you with a qualified instructor, show you and get you to actually enjoy and fire the firearm.
So I think we're going to try and film all this.
Yeah,
and take the process.
we'll actually do this, yes.
We'll film all this. We'll take us through the process of how do you go about, firstly, obviously, having expression of interest to join a pistol club. And obviously, you can go to pistol.org.au, and all the clubs are listed, and you can find the one closest to you, give them a call, and kick the process
and
off.
arrange it, arrange an information briefing, and then follow basically the safe handling of the firearm and give it a go.
Yeah, and I picked up this great little book here. We're at the Pistol Australia office in Canberra.
Yep.
It's a great little booklet here on the basics.
Just the basics, yeah.
Basic pistol shooting techniques.
Yeah.
How to get started, and that's fantastic. Obviously, it's one of those precision sports where you need to find your precise point and repeat that over and over and over.
It's one of the very few sports that are actually measured in millimeters in accuracy. I mean, we're at the pointy end when you go to the competition, but it's for all levels. You can do it as a social club meeting with friends and family, or you can go all the way to the pointy end and compete for your club, and then compete for the state and so on, like these guys that we spoke to, WA 1500, go to international competition one day.
Yeah, and compete at a world championship. So when you look at the umbrella that is Pistol Australia, it's the ISSF, which is the International Shooting Federation, the Olympic disciplines.
That's correct.
And then we also cover a range of other disciplines, WA 1500 being one of them, and we will go through all the different disciplines over the coming weeks.
Yes.
Obviously, the focus this show and next show is WA 1500 World Championship, but we're going to cover all of them. We've got a national championship coming up at Narrabri in just a couple of weeks, so we'll do a show from there as well. So it's an opportunity for competitors, whether they go down the road of Olympic discipline pistol events, or they go somewhere else and they can compete club level, inter-club level,
Regional,
state, national, international, world championship.
Yeah, world championship.
So it's, and I spoke to Bob from Tasmania at the Nationals, and really lovely gentleman in his 50th Nationals. I mean, incredible.
Pistol shooting is one of those disciplines that you can be any age.
Yeah.
You can be any
I'm a late
makeup.
starter. I'm a late starter.
It's not predisposed to any genetics required, like basketball. You have to be tall, but pistol shooting can be enjoyed male, female. It's usually also for people who, don't like team sports. Don't fit into team sports. They can do it as an individual.
It is, I guess, to a degree, it's an individual sport.
It is.
It's a bit like maybe golf, where even though you're playing other people or competing against other people, you're competing against yourself.
That's the main thing.
It's you calming your nerves and being precise and coming up and bringing that to the precision
One of those
moment.
self-absorbed sports, where it's you and the target. That's it.
That's it. It's all about trying to hit that X in the centre.
That's it. 10.9 we call it.
10.9, that's it.
In ISSF, in the other disciplines.
What about Chris? 1495. That's a very good day.
Very
out of 1500.
Hopefully you can pull one of those off for the world champs.
Well, I'm going to give this a go here. I'm going to learn and get my licence. I'm going to become a member of Pistol Australia, and I'm going to become a member of a club, and I'm going to go through the process. I'm going to take you with us to join
It'll
and
be
find
an exciting journey.
It is. It is. I guarantee it's going to be a long time before I shoot 14.95. Well, let's wrap it up there with the competition, folks. Thanks for joining us on our first ever live show. Don't forget our competition. We want to name the show, so bring us your best names. We've got Range Report. We've got Clear Sight so far. They're two of the ones. We also want to thank Monaro Workwear for dressing us here. Lovely new shirts, jackets, caps, looking after us here at Pistol Australia. Get online, pistol.org.au. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.